So I read 6 books in March, and this is what I read and what I rated them. First book I read in March is Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reid, and I've actually just changed this to 4.5 stars. I enjoyed Game Changer, but I think this one was just so much better. Actually kept me enticed. I literally read this within 2 days and I couldn't stop thinking about it. I definitely plan to finish the rest of the series. It's just as and when. And yeah, absolutely love Shane and Ilya, I'm gonna say his name is. I also definitely plan to watch the series, but I wanted to read the book first to see what it was actually about rather than go straight to the series. Next up is Mother of All Secrets by Catherine Willett, and I rated this a 2-star book. I was really disappointed with this. It had such a good premise. It could have been amazing, but unfortunately it just fell flat. So Mother of All Secrets follows a lady who's just given birth to her very first daughter, and she's struggling with like the postnatal side of things. And so she ends up finding a book, a baby mum group, and she goes and joins them. But then it goes a bit strange when the one who created the group goes missing, and she becomes absolutely obsessed with the idea of this and like where she's gone. She just really wanted to like find out what happened to her. And again, like I said, the idea of this sounds really good, but unfortunately it just fell flat. And by the end of it was just fucking stupid. And I was just a bit like, oh, like I thought it could have like clawed its way back, but then I was reading it at the end like, I just want to finish this. Like I'm not interested anymore, which is a shame. And I also think I don't like how the main character was depicted, because she moaned so much about being a mother. Now, I can't say anything because I'm not a mother myself. I do have a stepdaughter, but I've not a mother. Like, I can't imagine how hard it is. However, I don't know if it was the point of the author, but she made, for me, the main character so unlikable. It was hard for me to get past that, because I think there's so many people who are desperate and longing to be able to have a baby, and she had a baby and she literally just bitched like fuck about it. Said how much she like loved the baby and stuff, but like literally just moaned the entire time. And for me it kind of, yeah, it just wasn't it. Again, I could have missed the plot completely, the point, sorry, and that could have been the idea of it. It's supposed to be like that, because I'm sure you do have feelings like that when you've just given birth, and like when you're lonely and sleep deprived and stuff, you know. I can't imagine how hard it is. Absolutely not taking that away. It just made the main character unlikable for me, and I think that's where I just started to feel disappointed with the book, if that makes sense. Next book, I listened to this on audiobook, and it was The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. This was a bit of another disappointing read for me, as I only rated this 3 stars. This is the first book of hers I've rated 3 stars, because the other 3 books I've also listened to all 3 of them on audio. Was The Paris Apartment, The Guest List, and The Hunting Party. Paris Apartment was definitely 5 stars, and then The Hunting Party and The Guest List, I want to say, were like 4 or 5 stars. I helpfully didn't rate them on Goodreads, that I've read them. It just fell a bit flat for me. It started to just get a bit fucking silly. And it was just so unrealistic. I just thought, what? Like, I know some books are supposed to be unrealistic, but this was just fucking silly. And it just lost me. There were parts where I was like, oh, could it be? And then I was like, no, you've lost me. And then there was a thing of, could it be paranormal? Which I've not got a thing against paranormal, but I don't like when thriller books, go down the thing of, oh, could be paranormal. I'd rather it be a paranormal book or a thriller book, and not like a mix. Like, I'm not one for, like, I fucking hate Halloween. It's not, like, I don't celebrate Halloween. I'm such a scaredy cat. I'm scared of everything. So, like, I know, for example, Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. We read that for Halloween's book club pick back in October 24. Everyone loved it. I DNF'd it because it was just fucking annoying me. Like, it was either paranormal or it wasn't. I think for me, I don't like the potential of that. And with The Midnight Feast, there was parts where it was saying like, oh, it could be the birds, or other times no. Like, it just kept going between the two, and I was kind of just like, I'd rather just pick a lane and stick in it, you know. The next one is The Secrets on Chicory Lane by Raymond Benson, and I rated this a 4.5 stars. It was such a good book, and it really, really made me sad. I cried at the end. So it was about this guy who was on death row for killing his wife and unborn child, and he had sent a letter to a lady, I can't even remember her name, who he had been on and off with friends since childhood, and it was for her to go and meet him one last time before he... It was really good. It was going back and forth between the now of her going to see him versus the how they met when they were younger to them growing up and how their relationship developed and how it went. And there was a bit in it was a bit of a plot twist which I did kind of see coming. And yeah, it was just a really good book. It's something I've never heard of before. I obviously bought it or got it for free like years ago because it's been on my Kindle for years, and I'm really glad I read it because I really enjoyed it. Next up then was February's book club book, which was A Short Stay in Hull by Stephen L. Peck, and that is a 0.5 for me. That was 85 pages of book I will never get back. It was the most pointless fucking book I've ever read. I think it was fucking stupid. He definitely must have been on something right in that, because I was just like it would follow one direction. I was like, oh, okay. And then it would just be like, ha, twist, 180. And then we're on to something else. And I'm just like, whoa. Like, I'm still thinking of, like, what you've just said. Don't get me wrong. I know it's an 85-page book. It's supposed to be short, snappy. And it did leave a lasting impression. Like, I think 2 or 3 people in book club absolutely loved it and rated it, like, 4 or 5 stars. But the rest of us were all like, no. It was silly. And I definitely won't be reading that again. And then the last book I read in March was this absolute beauty. And if you've read my reading vlog, which is already up on my channel, then you will know what I think of it. 5 stars, absolutely loved. We'll definitely be reading the rest of the series. We'll definitely be reading anything Sarah J Maas will ever put out. I know that's a very strong statement considering I've only read one of her like 10 books she's written, but that's how I feel. And you can't change that. So unless something major happens, I definitely plan to read the rest of the series, and I'm very excited to read it. So yes, that's the 6 books I read in March. I hope I can potentially read a couple more this month, as I've got more downtime. March was a bit of a busy month for me. But, you know, I'm not putting pressure on myself. I've put down 35 books I wanted to read this year, and that was just like a loose goal. So the fact I'm already on 13... So on Goodreads, I'm 5 books ahead of schedule. So yeah, I'm going to keep that as my goal for now and just see how it goes. So thank you for watching.